Camping has always been something my girlfriend Hannah and I loved to do. There's just something about disconnecting from the world, being surrounded by nature, and getting away from everything for a little while. But after what happened last summer, I don't think I'll ever go camping again. It was late July, and we had found this remote spot deep in the woods, far from any main roads or hiking trails. It was perfect. No other campers, no city noise, just the sound of birds and the occasional rustling of leaves. It felt peaceful, at first. We spent the day setting up camp, gathering firewood, and just enjoying the quiet. But right as the sun started setting, Hannah stopped what she was doing and gave me a weird look. "Did you hear that?" she asked. I stopped and listened. At first I didn't hear anything, but then just for a second, there it was, whispering. It was faint, too quiet to make out, but unmistakable. I brushed it off, told her it was probably the wind carrying voices from a distant campsite, even though we both knew we hadn't seen anyone for miles. That night, we sat by the fire, eating s'mores, telling stories, trying to shake off the weird feeling that lingered in the air. But something felt wrong. The woods were too still. Every so often, I'd hear something moving beyond the tree line, a twig snapping, leaves crunching, but every time I turned to look, nothing. "I swear I keep hearing footsteps," Hannah whispered, hugging her arms. I nodded but didn't want to admit that I heard them too. Slow, deliberate steps that always stopped just as we listened too closely. "Let's just go to bed," she said finally, and I agreed. At some point in the middle of the night, I woke up. I wasn't sure why at first, then I heard it. Slow, steady breathing, right outside the tent. My body went ice cold. It wasn't the wind, it wasn't an animal, it was deep, deliberate human breathing, just inches from where I lay. Then came the whisper, "Come outside." I felt Hannah shift beside me. She had heard it too. Her hand gripped my arm so tight I could feel her nails digging into my skin. We just lay there, frozen, listening. And then, the zipper started moving. Someone was unzipping our tent. My heart pounded in my chest. I gripped my knife, eyes locked on the zipper as it slid down, slow, deliberate. I whispered to Hannah, "On 3 we run." I counted, 1, 2, then I kicked the tent open and lunged out, but there was no one there. The campsite was still. The fire had died down, but everything else was exactly as we left it. Nothing was disturbed, but we should have seen someone. We should have seen them. Hannah grabbed my arm and pointed at the dirt outside the tent. Footprints. Dozens of them. They weren't ours. They came from the woods. They surrounded our tent, but none of them led away. We packed up as fast as we could, throwing everything into the truck, leaving half of our gear behind. I didn't care. I just wanted to get the hell out of there. We didn't stop driving until we reached a gas station miles away. Neither of us spoke. I told myself it was just some weird prank, some other campers messing with us. But here's what still keeps me up at night. When we got home, Hannah checked her phone, and she found a voice memo. It was recorded at 2:13 a.m. She pressed play. Silence at first, then a whisper. "We'll see you again." It was a child's voice. We have never gone back to that campsite. I don't think we ever should.